Today's Mass readings. June 27, 2020. Saturday of the 12th week in Ordinary Time. First reading. A reading from the Book of Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 2 verse 2, 10 to 14 and 18 to 19. The Lord has consumed without pity all the dwellings of Jacob. He has torn down in his anger the fortresses of daughter Judah. He has brought to the ground in dishonor her king and her princes. On the ground and silence it. The old men of daughter Zion, they strew dust on their heads, and gird themselves with sackcloth. The maidens of Jerusalem bowed their heads to the ground. Worn out from weeping are my eyes. Within me all is in ferment. My gall is poured out on the ground, because of the downfall of the daughter of my people. As child and infant faint away in the open spaces of the town. In vain they ask their mothers, where is the grain? As they faint away like the wounded in the streets of the city, and breathe their last in their mother's arms. To what can I liken or compare you, O daughter Jerusalem? What example can I show you for your comfort, virgin daughter Zion? For great as the sea is your downfall. Who can heal you? Your prophets had for you false and specious visions. They did not lay bare your guilt to avert your fate. They beheld for you in vision false and misleading portents. Cry out to the Lord. Moan, O daughter Zion. Let your tears flow like a torrent, day and night. Let there be no respite for you, no repose for your eyes. Rise up, shrill in the night. At the beginning of every watch, pour out your heart like water in the presence of the Lord. Lift up your hands to Him for the lives of your little ones who faint from hunger. At the corner of every street, the word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm. Psalms chapter 74 verse 1b to 7 and 20 to 21. Let our response be, Lord, forget not the souls of your poor ones. Why, O God, have you cast us off forever? Why does your anger smolder against the sheep of your pasture? Remember your flock which you built up of old, the tribe you redeemed as your inheritance, Mount Zion, where you took up your abode. Lord, forget not the souls of your poor ones. Turn your steps toward the utter ruins, toward all the damage the enemy has done in the sanctuary. Your foes roar triumphantly in your shrine. They have set up their tokens of victory. They are like men coming up with axes to a clump of trees. Lord, forget not the souls of your poor ones. With chisel and hammer they hack at all the paneling of the sanctuary. They set your sanctuary on fire. The place where your name abides they have razed and profaned. Lord, forget not the souls of your poor ones. Look to your covenant, for the hiding places in the land and the plains are full of violence. May the humble not retire in confusion. May the afflicted and the poor praise your name. Lord, forget not the souls of your poor ones. Gospel reading. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Matthew chapter 8 verse 5 to 17. When Jesus entered Capernaum, a centurion approached him and appealed to him, saying, Lord, my servant is lying at home paralyzed, suffering dreadfully. He said to him, I will come and cure him. The centurion said in reply, Lord, I am not worthy to have you enter under my roof. Only say the word and my servant will be healed. For I too am a man subject to authority, with soldiers subject to me. And I say to one, Go, and he goes. And to another, Come here, and he comes. And to my slave, Do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed and said to those following him, Amen, I say to you, in no one in Israel have I found such faith. I say to you, many will come from the east and the west, and will recline with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, at the banquet in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom will be driven out into the outer darkness, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth. And Jesus said to the centurion, "You may go. As you have believed, let it be done for you." And at that very hour his servant was healed. Jesus entered the house of Peter, and saw his mother-in-law lying in bed with a fever. He touched her hand, the fever left her, and she rose and waited on him. When it was evening, they brought him many who were possessed by demons, and he drove out the spirits by a word and cured all the sick. To fulfill what had been said by Isaiah the prophet, he took away our infirmities and bore our diseases. The Gospel of the Lord. Before we proceed with the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Also, please hit the notification bell so you won't miss out when we release new videos. Feel free to share your comments, suggestions and reflections at the comments section down below. Thank you and God bless. Now, let's proceed with the video. The reflection on today's Gospel. The Gospels tell us that Jesus spent a lot of his time healing the sick. Yet, he was much more than a very successful and sought-after healer. For his healing is through compassion and solidarity. He took our infirmities and bore our diseases. This is best seen on Calvary, but he lived it out throughout his life. Jesus says some very surprising words of the Roman centurion. "In no one in Israel have I found such faith." He praises the unique faith of a pagan. We often ask ourselves what faith really is, and we may sometimes think that our faith is practically non-existent. And what of the faith of those who belong to other religions, or who claim they are unbelievers or atheists? I remember that Jesus said that it is enough if my faith is as big as mustard seed, and thank God for this great gift.